Sahanavatu. Sahana bhavatu, sahano bhunaktu, saha viryam karavavahai, tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sutram. Akhanda mandalakaram vyaptam yena characharam tatpadam darsitam yena tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Ajnanatimiram dhasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshur militam yena tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Gurureva Param Brahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Stavaram Jangamam Yattam, Yatkinchis Sacharacharam, Tatpadam Darsitam Yena, Sri Gurave Namaha. Chinmayam Vyapi Yat Sarvam, Trailokyam Sacharacharam, Tatpadam Darsitam Yena, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Tvameva Mata cha Pita Tvameva, Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva, Tvameva Vidya Dravidam Tvameva, Tvameva Sarvam Deva Deva, Tvameva Sarvam Gurudeva Deva. Hari Om. So we completed the first volley of the second chapter, and most important sloka, or one of the most important slokas, is Manasai Vedavaptavyam. That's 11 sloka number 11 in the first volley of second chapter. Manasa eva idam aptavyam. So this knowledge or the realization can only be done with the mind. So it's not the absence of the mind, and mind involves thinking process. So through vichara, through inquiry only, one can gain this idam aptavyam. One can realize. Self-realization occurs via mind only, because the wrong notions are in the mind, and the wrong notions have to be dropped by proper knowledge. So therefore, here the scripture emphasizes it's not the absence of the mind, it's not transcendence of mind, it is using the mind to realize that I am not the mind, but I am the pure consciousness. So manasa eva idam aptavyam. And neha nanasti kinchana, there is absolutely no duality or plurality in this world. This has to be understood correctly, because this part is quoted extensively. This one, neha nanasti kinchana, and sarvam kaluidam brahma. That comes from the Upanishad. Since all that is nothing but sarvam kalu. Indeed, idam is all this, is only Brahman. And neha nanasti, there is no plurality whatsoever. So while looking at the plurality and using the plurality, I can say that there is no really plurality. Just as using the rings and the bangles and the bracelets and necklaces, I can use them and say that there are really no rings, bangles and necklaces. What is there is only pure gold only in variety of forms. So it is not the absence of plurality, nehanana, it is absence of the reality to the plurality that I give, because that is the problem. So this has to be understood here. So mrityo samrutyam gacchati ya iha naneva pasyati. So whoever sees in this world Nana iha, the eva, varieties and differences, whoever sees, so it means whatever they see as real, as Jagat Satyam, as the people think, and Jiva Satyam, and Brahma Satyam, and Jiva Satyam, all this that you see in this world, if you say that is real, then Mrityo Samrityam Gacchati. So scripture says you go from death to death. That means you will be continuously in the cycle. That means no liberation involved. So if any Advaitin comes, you can repeat that sloka for him to keep quiet. And we finished this volley, and we will start the second volley of the second chapter. And this is one of the important chapters of the Kathopanishad, as you will see. Puram ekadasadvaram, Puram ekadasadvaram, ajasya vakrachetasaha, ajasya vakrachetasaha, anushtaya nasochati, anushtaya sanasochati, vimuktascha vimuchyate, vimuktascha vimuchyate, tadvaitad, together, Puram ekadasadvaram, ajasya vakrachetasaha, anushtaya nasochati, vimuktascha vimuchyate, etadvaitad. So here the whole body is defined as Puram, as a city. So when there is city has a lot of gates to enter, and there's a gatekeepers and controllers, all are there, and inside as you open all the gates, and ultimately you see the Vaikuntha Dwaram is open, Ekadasi, this is Ekadasi, right? The Vaikuntha Ekadasi, the king will be sitting inside all the way. So here, this is an analogy is used here, Puram Ekadasa Dwaram. So there are 11 gates, Ekadasa Dwaram, 11 gates, 7 gates are in the face, 3 at the trunk level, including the belly button, and the last one is called Brahmanadi. So total is 11 gates. Through Brahmanadi only one goes up. So that is what is involved in the Ekadasa Dwaram. Ekadasa is also, you are supposed to do fasting, right? So what the implication is, Ekadasa is also one can interpret as Pancha Karmendriyas and Pancha Jnanendriyas, 5 plus 5, 10, and the mind, together 11, and all that has to withdraw from sense enjoyment. That is real Ekadasi. Not fasting, not only fasting through the mouth, eating through the mouth, any enjoyment, external enjoyment through all the 5 senses had to be curtailed, and mind has to be turned towards the Lord Narayana or Vaikuntha or Kailasa or whatever, to the higher. That is the real Ekadasi Vratam. Not eat something else that you like on that day compared to meals. So, Ekadasa Dwaram. Today is Vaikuntha Ekadasi. So, that is Lord Narayana is visible today. That's why we are looking at the Ekadasa Dwaram. So, Ajaha. So, that is Ajasya and Avakra Chetasaha. So, who is sitting there? The one who is sitting, once you open all the gates and go interior to the sanctum sanctorum, and there is one who is unborn, and Avakra, who is not Vakram. Vakram is turning around or crooked. That means who has not become crooked. That means who has not undergone any modification. That means he is pure. So Chetasaha, it is pure consciousness itself. It is of the nature of consciousness and or intelligence. And Anushtaya Nasochati. So the one who recognizes that Lord there, sitting there after opening all the gates and go through that and recognizes that who is Ajaha, which is that which is unborn, Ajasya, which is of unborn nature, and that Anushtaya, also having contemplated on that, is one who contemplated Nasochati, he will never grieve again. So this is this statement. So Vimuktascha vimuchyate. So Vimuktaha, so the one who has become free, so vimuchyate, he becomes free. Be from cycle of births and deaths. One who becomes free means one who has gained the knowledge of that. The first one, Vimuktaha, means is completely free from all that. So he'll be free from the cycle of birth and deaths. So no more suffering for him. So this is so what are you going to get once you know the king inside? Okay, now second sloka. Hamsaha suchishad. Hamsaha suchishad. These are two big long slokas, so I'm trying to split it. Vasuritam reichasad. Vasuritam reichasad. Hota vedishad. Hota vedishad. Atitihi duronasat. Atitihi duronasat. Nrushad varasadrutasad. Nrushad varasadrutasad. Vyomasad. Vyomasad. Abja goja rutaja. Abja goja rutaja. Adrija rutam bruhat. Adrija rutam bruhat. Like a mantra here. We're together. Hamsaha suchishad. Vasuritam reichasad. Hota vedishad. Atitihi duronasat. Nrushad varasadrutasad. Vyomasad. Abja goja rutaja. Adrija rutam bruhat. Okay. Now, I want to see this Lord. Where do you see? From now on, how you are going to see the Lord is being indicated here. And whatever you see is nothing but the Lord. Ultimately, whatever you see is nothing but this one. So here he starts here. Hamsaha. Hamsa is the one who moves around. That is symbolic of the sun who comes every day and moves around across the skies and comes back again next day. So Hamsaha, the sun. Sushishad says one who dwells in the heavens. So all those are nothing but him only. Vasuhu, the air that moves around, is nothing but. So if I want to see him, I can see him in everywhere in this. So I had to recognize him in all these things. So this becomes a knowledge now. Antariksha sadhu, the one Antariksham is in the skies. So one who dwells in the Antariksham, in the skies. Hota, in the sacrifice, fire sacrifice, one who sacrifices. And Vedishadu, the one who exists on the sacrificial altar, the one who performs the sacrifice. Atitihi, Atitihi means the guest. So one who doesn't have a date. Titi is a date. So one who comes without announcing, means who needs help suddenly. So he is the real guest. Once who already called that I need help, that's a separate one. So Atitihi is the ones who come suddenly, somebody needs a help. He is the guest. So Atitihi. Durona Satu, the one who is in the house dweller. Drushadu, one who dwells in all, man means in every human being. So the who is dwelling in every human being means every individual you can think of. Varasadu, Rutasadu. So in the Varasadu is one supreme, that who dwells in the gods. And Rutasadu, the one who dwelling in the sacrifices. And Vyomasadu, the one who dwells in the skies, all the birds, everything which are flying. Abja, the born which are born in water, all the things that are born in water is nothing but him only. Goja, born on the earth, so everything that is born on the earth. Rutaja, born in the sacrifice, like Draupadi's and all that, whoever came from the fire. Adrija, the born in the mountains, the rivers and riverlets and all that. And Rutam Bruhat, that is the greatest truth. Now you know where to see him. So where you cannot see him, everywhere he is there, because he himself became many. So here the teaching itself is, I want to see where. So you need to use the mind now to differentiate the names and forms, but look in and through the names and forms, what is the essence of everything. Without forgetting, names and forms are required for transactional purposes. So while transacting, use the names and forms properly at the transactional level, but understanding level, understand is nothing but the Lord himself in varieties of forms. So that is Chaitanyam, pure existent consciousness expressing in varieties of things. So that's how we can see. Okay? But all this is Padosya Visva Bhutani Tripadasya Amrutam Divi. That's all. This is only 1/4 of his Vibhuti. There is 3/4. All these Saguna. Saguna means through the Guna, I am going Guna Atitam, beyond the Gunas. But that when I sit in the seat of meditation, what I see is that which is Nirguna Brahma, that is beyond all these Jajas. Ja means born here, born there, dwelling here. All that is only the physical bodies or something, but we have to think of something which is born, Ajaha, right? Ajasa, which is unborn in all these things. Okay, some more clues of where you can find him. Urdhvam pranam unnayati. Urdhvam pranam unnayati. Apanam pratyagasyati. Madhye vamanamasinam. Viswadeva upasate. Together, Urdhvam pranam unnayati, apanam pratyagasyati, madhye vamanamasinam, visvedeva upasate. Now, where can you find him? Urdhvam, upwards, pranam, the pranam is pranavayu or pranam, the life force, unnayati. It is essentially goes upwards, that which sends upwards. It's not what is going upwards, that because of which you are breathing up. Whatever that makes you up, breathing upwards, is because of him. So if you are breathing, it says that which propels you to breathe is the very life force, because without him you cannot even breathe. So you can see now where you can find him, right? Apanam pratyagasyati. Apanam means that apanavayu is pratyag is downwards, is pushed down. Because of whom? That. So every physiological function, pranapana, he is only giving 2 examples here. Prana means pranapana, vyana, udana, samana. I am able to live, I am able to talk, I am able to do, everything is being done because all physiological functions are being propelled by that life force, and that is that. And so where can I see him? I had to recognize the presence of him in everything. So this is the real teaching now. And where can he? Madhye vamanamasinam. So madhye in the middle means in the heart, in the very core, as I am, in the very essence is Vamana, this adorable one, the supreme one, is asinam, is tishtati. That life force, we don't know what life is, but that because of which the whole thing is functioning. And Viswadeva upasate, and it is being worshipped by all gods. Who are the gods? The senses and sense deities. So in the other dwaras that I forgot to mention, so Ekadasa Dwara, there is a gates and the gatekeepers. Gatekeepers is essentially these 5 senses through which you communicate through the gates. And there are deities of those, controllers of those doors are called devas, and for each door there is a deva, appointed deva. So God's controlling means the faculty of that is called God. And here also Viswadeva upasate, he is adorned by those deities who are controlling pranapana vyana udana sana. So in fact, it says, Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninam Deham Asritaha So Pranapana Samayuktaha Pachamyannam Chaturvidham. I am as a Vaishvanara in all living beings. I am the one who is controlling everything. And that is what we are talking about here. And that is the Etadvaita. That is it. So, where can you not see him? Inside you, outside you, everywhere. Now, Asya Visram Samanasya. Asya Visram Samanasya. Did I miss something? Okay. I did 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Asya Visram Samanasya. Asya Visram Samanasya. Sarirastasya Dehinaha. Rastasya Dehinaha. Dehat Vimuchyamanasva. Dehat Vimuchyamanasya. Kimatra Parisishyate. Kimasya Parisishyate. Etadvaitad. Etadvaitad. Okay then. Asya Visram Samanasya. Sarirastasya Dehinaha. Dehat. By heaven, by killing other people, then they will be only get killed only. So Yathasrutam also. Okay. Now you see, this is the highest, everything is being revealed here by Yamadharmaraja to Nachiketa. Ya esha supteshu jagarti. Ya esha supteshu jagarti. Kamam purusho nirmimanaha. Kamam purusho nirmimanaha. Tadeva sukram tad brahma tadva muchyate. Tadeva mృతముచ్యతే tasmin lokaha sritaha taha sarve tadunatyeti kaschana etadvaitad. Together. Ya esha supteshu jagarti. Kamam purusho nirmimanaha. Tadeva sukram tad brahma uchati tasmin lokaha sritaha sarve tadunatyeti kaschana etadvaitad. So here there is a Mahavakya is embedded in this sloka. Yaha eshaha supteshu jagarti. So Yaha, the one, says this, whatever we are talking about, that which supteshu. Supteshu is essentially when in the dream, when you are dreaming, when you are going to dream state and a deep sleep state, and jagarti is awake. Now you follow? The one who is awake when you have gone from waking state to a dream state and a deep sleep state, but he is not going to any dream or deep sleep state, and that is that. Etadvaitad is that because of which, that means I am waker, I am a dreamer, I am there, I am a deep sleeper, and I am always there in all this. Chaturtham manyante, that which is neither awake or neither dreams nor deep sleep, he is beyond all that. Says that's why he is anta prajna na bahi prajna no veta prajna na prajnana ghanam. He is not that, he is not that, he is that which is witnessing consciousness of all the states. Witnessing means whatever he is witnessing the waking state, he is witnessing the dream state, and he is witnessing the deep sleep state, and he is witnessing consciousness is different from witnessed, which means he is nothing to do with the waking dream. States are changing, but he is just watching all that, and therefore he doesn't sleep. Okay? So he is always jagarti. So this is essentially Mandukya Upanishad statement comes here. Kamam kamam purushaha nirmimanaha. So he is also the same one who is having this desire in every one of them. Is that so? I thought I wanted it because it's he, so I can blame him for everything. So, why? Because it's a life, he's making the life enliven in that and taking the role of a jiva, and if he takes the role as a play, there's no problem. But he forgets that he is Brahman and taking the role. When he forgets, then he's behaving like a jiva, but what is, he's only Brahman only, because he is a conscious existent entity and he wants this desire, he wants desire. Because otherwise the body man is only inert. Inert doesn't want anything. So whenever you say, I am hungry, who asks for it? Body may need something, but body needs, according to US requirements, there is certain carbohydrates, minerals and all that. You can supply it, but that's not what you want. You want this food, you want Mysore pak, or you want this pak and that. Who is asking for? Because kamam is, I have pleasure in doing it. Therefore, kamam means all the desires. By repetition, it says every desire in every being is because of that only. Kamam purusha nirmimanaha, desiring different things in desire. But if I have the knowledge and desire, then is a different thing. So that's why when it's in our whenever we do bhojanam, what is it? Not Brahmarpanam. Brahmarpanam is later, but we do what is it called? Yeah, and then what we'll do? Put rice. We do. So he says, all these things we are telling about ourselves and meeting and offering it to the Lord himself, that is in that. So that is the recognition of the presence of the Lord in the whole body itself. And then in Achamana, when we take a water, first thing is Achyutaya Namaha, Anantaya Namaha, Govindaya Namaha. You are drinking, but you are chanting the name of the Lord. So that has to be recognized. Okay? So here, kamam. Even the expression of because there is nothing other than him. Brahman is infinite. You cannot separate anything because himself is playing different roles here. And that is the message of this chapter itself. So kamam purusho nirmimanaha. So it says, tadeva sukram. That which is yet pure, nothing is affected by all these things. Even though he is desiring and all that you think, but at the same time, he is unaffected by all that also. So it is a question of relative. At the lower level, you think it is because these are all my lower prakriti. Apareyamitastvanyam, that which is beyond this is supporting all this only, but it is untouched by it. Atyatishta dashangulam, right? 10 feet above, 10 inches above. So he's untouched by all these things also. So that's also being pointed out here. Tadeva sukram, that which is ever pure. Tad Brahma, that is the Brahman. So, and tat eva amrutam uchyati. Tadeva amrutam uchyati. That indeed is called amrutam, is eternal. That which never dies, which is all the time, nityam, and that is Brahman. And tasmin lokaha sritaha, says that tasmin loka, that all the fields, lokas are fields of experiences, and lokas is atala, utala, satala, mahatala, rasatala, patala, down, and all here up lokas, 7 lokas up and 7 lokas, all are sritaha, are supported by this only. Okay, so he is all pervading. So all are rest in him essentially. And sarve tadu na anyate. So he is looking at, if you look at from this first statement, yaha esha sushupte jagarti, he is looking at the individual level, at a jiva level, and at the same time he is taking us beyond to all lokas and everything else. So it is total one. Lo jiva is not different from Brahman. So it is essentially Mahavakya implication here. This that Brahman which is life in you is same, the totality also. So sarve tadu Na anya iti kaschana. That sarve means everything is nothing but him only. Whatever you do, whatever you touch, whatever you see, whatever you taste, in whatever form that you interact with is nothing but Brahman only. So sarve tat u. That means indeed is that. Everything is nothing but that. So achyeti na kaschana. There is none, because achyeti, it's beyond that, there is nothing else. You say, what is that after that? There is nothing else. That is the end. So that Brahman is the supreme, and there is nothing beyond that is, and that is one you are. Okay? Etadvaitad. Okay, next sloka. Agnir yathauko bhuvanam pravishtam Rupam rupam pratirupam babhuva Rupam pratirupam babhuva Ekastada sarvabhutantaratma Ekastada sarvabhutantaratma Rupam rupam pratirupam bahischa Rupam rupam pratirupam bahischa. Together. Agniryatauko bhuvanam pravishtaha Rupam rupam pratirupam babhuva Ekasthatha sarvabhutantaratma Rupam rupam pratirupam bahischa. These are one of the famous slokas here, the Rupam Rupam. These are a couple of slokas that come here with the same statements. So Agnihi yatha ekaha bhuvanam pravishtaha. So Agnihi, the fire, is yatha, just as, he giving an example here, just as the fire is alone, but express bhuvanam pravishtaha, is expressing so entered into this world in many varieties of forms, or can be seen in this world in varieties and varieties of forms. So means all sorts of Agnis, including in our own stomach as Jataragni. Okay, but in the Kathopanishad there is a Kali, Vikali, their names also given for different types of flames that are coming. So Agnihi means the fire. Fire is very energy states also you can think of. It is, even though it is one, it is bhuvanam pravishtaha, it's expressing in varieties of forms and names itself. Rupam rupam pratirupam bhavuva. So it becomes in every form expressing, bhavuva has become in many forms. One has become in many forms, just as the fire has become in many forms. Ekastada sarvabhutantaratma ekaha tada, that one, that is what we are talking about, that Brahman, that alone one is sarvabhutantaratma. It is the inner self of all beings. Sarvabhuta also, bhuta can be included as all you the panchabhutas, even the inert things also, because everything is nothing but him. Antaratma says either atma vidagam sarvam tat satyam. So inner essence of everything as existence or conscious existence. Either way, it is ekastada sarvabhutantaratma, as innermost self of everything. Rupam rupam pratirupam bahischa. So that he is in everyone and is outside of everyone also. He is inside and outside. Antar bahischata sarvam apyanarayana stitaha. So every rupam, every form, everything I can think of, everything I can conceptualize, and everything is nothing but him only. He himself became, because there cannot be anything other than him. Because any concepts are within my consciousness only. Everything is in one consciousness. So this is repeated in another example here. Varyataiko bhuvanam pravishto Yuryataiko bhuvanam pravishto Rupam rupam pratirupo babhuva Rupam rupam pratirupo babhuva Ekastada sarvabhutantaratma Ekastada sarvabhutantaratma Rupam rupam pratirupo bahischa Rupam Patirupo Vahischa. So last two lines are same as before. Together. Vayur Yathaiko Bhuvanam Pravishto Rupam Pratirupo Babhuva Ekastata Sarva Bhudantaratma Rupam Pratirupo Bahischa. So Vayuhu Yatha Ekha, the air is one. So all universe is nothing but one continuous air. There is no divisions anywhere. So Vayu Yatha Ekaha Bhuvanam Pratishtaha. So now we have this side of wind, that side of wind, different type of directional wind. Yesterday we had a lot of wind. So that is Babhuva, is entering into this universe in different Rupam Pratirupam Babhuva, in varieties of names and forms. And Ekastata Sarvabhudantaratma, that one Sarvabhutantaratma, Ekaha Tatha, that one which is Brahman is in all beings, in everyone, as the inner essence of everything. Rupam Pratirupo Bahischa. Is the inner essence of everything in every Rupam, and also he is outside the Rupams also. Because Rupam is always a form and bounded by forms, so outside the forms are also he is there. So he is everywhere. So if he is everywhere, all the problems are coming, all the dirt also can be him also, right? So that is cleared in the next sloka. Suryo yatha sarvalokasya chakshuhu Suryo yatha sarvalokasya chakshuhu Nalipyate chakshusaihi bahya doshaihi Nalipyate chakshusaihi bahya doshaihi Ekastata sarvabhutantaratma Ekastada sarvabhutantaratma Nalipyate loka dukkhena bahyaha Nalipyate loka dukkhena bahyaha. Together. Suryo yatha sarvalokasya chakshuhu Nalipyate chakshusaihi bahya doshaihi Ekastada sarvabhutantaratma Nalipyate loka dukkhena bahyaha. So, Yatha Suryaha, just as the sun, so sun is shining, and Sarvalokasya Chakshuhu is the eye for, because he is providing the light for vision of all these that are being illuminated by the sun. And in that illumination, everything is occurring on the ground, right? So one side, all the killing and everything is going on. He is seeing that also. Lord of Sun is watching that.